Thank you very much, Chair. I understand data is quite expensive. I will not take much time. So my name is Ndibulele Funda. I'm from RCL Foods. So RCL Foods is a company comprising of different brands under it. So we are Rainbow Chicken, as we know, and we are EPOL, a brand under Rainbow Chicken, and we feed Rainbow. We are the feed component. So we are actually not experts in the grain industry. So any grain questions, please. But we are indeed a major consumer of these raw material products that we use at EPOL. Just on myself, so I am the sales manager at EPOL. We work quite a lot with a lot of farmers, quite a lot of emerging farmers that work in our space, and also commercial farmers. We cover the whole of the Eastern Cape in terms of selling our product, which is animal feed. We sell animal feed, all animal feed types, chickens, broilers, pigs, cattle, goats, sheep, rabbit, mice. And yes,
Mice.
definitely mice.
Not just chicken.
Not chicken.
That tastes like chicken.
Close enough. Close enough. No, we do have. There are a couple of restaurants in Port Elizabeth area that do sell mice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's-
But no, 100%. But I think most of it is labs that use the mice in order to do all of their studies and research. So at EPOL, as I said, we're quite big consumers of maize, as we use it as an input product to produce our feed. I think, as the chair said earlier on, we use about 60 to 70% of maize as our input in terms of the products that we produce at EPOL. So we do use a lot of maize. I think in the company as a whole, we are in different provinces. I think we use about 40,000 tons of maize that we use as a company. Here at EPOL in the Eastern Cape, our mill is just here in Berlin. We use about 2,500 to 3,000 tons a month of maize as an input in our feed plant. We mill the maize, we buy the maize whole, and we mill it. We have a lot of trucks that come in to deliver this maize. We use about 5 to 6 trucks a day, which these are bulk tankers that feed our plant. Obviously, just to say on our side, we would want to receive our maize using rail because it's much cheaper for us. But we understand in terms of constraints that the rail system is not as best as we want it to be in the country. But I won't go into that space as well. So most of our maize is brought in by road. It comes from a lot of different parts of the country. Most of it coming from Elliot up to even the Free State. We also have maize coming in through the harbour, which comes in PE. Obviously, our harbour here in East London is not really suitable at this current time to receive the maize. Otherwise, it would be perfect for us as well. We always wanted to get our maize locally supplied as much as possible, because obviously that makes it quite cheaper for us as well to actually use our maize and also deal with pricing. So we've worked quite closely. We've had quite a few emerging farmers, small farmers that we've used their maize, but there have been great challenges in that space, but I'll outline a few of those as I go on. So most of our maize comes a lot from in terms of the commercial farm space. So we as EPOL, we do have our own procurement guys that buy these commodities for us, that trade in the market, buy options, sell, and all of those kind of things. But in the past, I think in the last year or two, we've contracted a third party that does this for us, which is Cargill. So Cargill plays a lot of space in this. They involved quite a lot in the grain industry, raw material industry, let me rather put it, that go and identify and find these farmers that will come and produce the maize. And obviously, we then take that maize and use it. Just in the past, and Joe's just bringing those typical examples of the farmers that we've worked with, that we've gone with EPOL, and we've gone to them and tried to take their maize, because we've always had, as I've said, traveling in the space of the Eastern Cape, where farmers would come up to me and say, I've got maize, how can I supply EPOL? I've got maize, I'm planting maize, this and that, how can I supply EPOL? And obviously, for us, it's a challenge, because we can't go to a farmer that only produces 5 tons, 6 tons of maize. Because as I've said, we want 2,500 to 3,000 that maize that we consume at EPOL. So we were approached by a few organizers, I'll call them, that would organize farmers to say, look, I'm not a maize producer myself, but I've got a couple of farmers that have got maize and want to sell this maize to EPOL. So we talked to that certain organizer. The organizer will tell us that he's got 100 to 150 tons of maize. We say, okay, no, it's fine. We'll work with that number. But this is the criteria that we want as EPOL. Obviously, we want first grade maize. We don't want any foreign particles in the maize. And as EPOL, we want bulk. We don't want bagged maize, because it becomes a big issue. It's labor intensive when you take in maize as bagged into the mill. So those are the first challenges. Then these guys come up to say, these farmers are quite small. They don't have silos that they store maize. The storage for them is quite a big issue for them. And obviously, there are foreign particles in the maize. And when we want this maize, obviously, we want an analysis certificate from them to say, has the analysis been done on the maize? And that doesn't happen. They don't have those kind of resources. So we as EPOL will say, okay, it's fine. We will take your maize. We will, at our own cost, test this maize for you guys. And if this maize passes, we'll then take your maize. Before any conversation actually happens, we do this. So we'll take the maize, put it into our labs, we test it. The maize is fine. But again, that is not the real picture of the maize that we get, because farmers, if you talk to an organizer and you not talk to the real farmer, the organizer will tell the farmer, take your best sample. So they take the best sample and they give it to us. Once the trucks comes in, the maize is not what we wanted. We have to then reject the truck. It's a big fight from the farmers. EPOL doesn't want to support, and those kind of issues that we get. So just as I said, just one example, 2 examples. These organized 150 tons of maize. So just a bit of background in terms of EPOL. Our maize is contracted on a head office level by procurers. We then say we want an allocation of 2,000. We estimate that this month we'll use about 2,000 tons of maize. Procurement then will allocate us maize from the bigger procurement space. So what we then talk with these farmers, we say, okay, the farmer says we've got 200 tons of maize. We'll tell our procurement we only want 1,800 tons of maize in terms of allocation. We've already talked to this organizer. He will bring us the 200 tons of maize, 100%. Then it comes, we sign contracts with them. We talk to them in terms of pricing. Everything is set. Can you then deliver our maize on that day? We don't get the maize. We have a shortfall of 200 tons of maize where we don't know where we'll get. We have to ask around now from head office space in terms of, can you please assist us? We didn't get this maize. The organizers has told us, though, the maize was stolen, whatever the case might be. This unfortunately deters trust. Trust now becomes an issue, because you've put our business in jeopardy. Because if we cannot supply our people that we need to supply to, it becomes our issue. So that's the first kind of challenges that we receive in order of these people that coming to us trying to sell this product. Second example, as an organizer again will come to us and say, we need to, we have maize. We've dealt with different farmers that would like to bring this maize. We've got 150 tons of maize. Again, we say, no, let's take this opportunity. Maybe this will work much better. We sign contracts and we agree. The farmer only, okay, let me not say the farmer, the organizer only delivers 50 tons of maize. Again, we have a shortfall. So those are the challenges that we've received or got from working with the smaller emerging or communal or smaller farmers that we do want their maize in our system, because we also want to, it works better for us if we source the maize in the Eastern Cape, closer to us in our mills. We have, as I was speaking to the gentleman next to me, that EPOL has actually, because that we've now partaken a partnership with Cargill that goes and finds these farmers. We've actually gotten a few loads just recently from, I think they are maize farmers up in the Transkei. So for us, maize is maize. If it's quality, if we can do what we want for us, we will take it. We don't look at anything else beyond the quality, the grade, and obviously the logistics approach of it in terms of can you get and can you deliver this maize, and then we would work with you on a continuous basis. That's just that's just 5 takes that I thought I should highlight in this platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you.